Welcome, friends. You've just stepped into a place where food brings us together, where every dish is made from scratch and every meal is a celebration. This is our faraway village, our kitchen, and now it's yours too. This morning, we wander down to the heart of our village, the local market. It's more than just a place for trade. It's where stories are exchanged over bundles of herbs, and the news of the day rides on the scent of freshly baked bread. Of course, one does not simply stroll through our market without the sacred art of bargaining. It's a gentle dance of wit and charm, a ritual passed down like our recipes. Today, our eyes catch a glimmer among the wooden stalls, crates brimming with freshly harvested figs. These treasures are just perfect for crafting a time-honored delicacy, the famous Azerbaijani fig jam. Fig jam, among the pantheon of our traditional jams, it sits like a crowned jewel. It's often served to guests as a gesture of high honor. But let me tell you, making fig jam is no walk in the orchard. It's one of the most demanding of the jam family, requiring a watchful eye and patient hands. The goal is to coax the syrup into a clear, amber-hued nectar, like liquid gold glistening in the sunlight. My wife, like so many Azerbaijani women, learned this art not from a book, but from the hands of her mother, who in turn learned it from hers. These are lessons stitched with quiet wisdom, shared over pots bubbling with sugar and thyme, and so the recipe is not just preserved, but lived, passed from hand to hand, heart to heart. Figs are harvested here in late summer, when the sun has done its work and the fruit blushes with ripeness. It's essential they're plucked at just the right moment, fully ripe but not overly soft, so they hold their shape during the slow cooking. Now, if you've ever tried your hand at making fig jam, you'll know it's as much about patience as it is about precision. The figs must be pricked just enough to let the syrup in without losing their form. The balance of sugar, lemon, and thyme must be watched like a hawk. I remember once, as a child, sneaking into my grandmother's kitchen while her fig jam simmered on the stove. I was drawn in by the aroma, but curiosity got the better of me, and I dipped a wooden spoon into the pot too early. She caught me, of course, not with anger, but with a chuckle and a lesson. Across the world, the fig has long held a place of deep symbolism. From ancient Greece to the gardens of the East, it's a fruit tied to wisdom, abundance, and even sensuality. A quiet icon nestled in myth and memory, offering both nourishment and meaning. Here in Azerbaijan, the fig carries its own sacred weight. It symbolizes prosperity, sweetness in life, and the continuity of family. Fig trees often grow near old homes, their roots deep, their fruit a reminder of resilience and quiet giving. We don't just eat figs, we honor them. The first batch of figs my wife gently split in half will become our breakfast jam, the kind you spread over warm toast with a sliver of creamy butter, a simple luxury that turns a morning into a moment of joy. Now, as she carefully pricks this new batch, each fig is prepped to become one of those golden jewels, suspended in a syrup as clear as morning light. As the figs simmer gently in their sugar bath, the syrup begins to thicken, wrapping them in a golden sheen. While it bubbles away, my wife removes the foam that gathers on top. In Azerbaijani, we call it kuf. It's a small but vital step to ensure clarity in the syrup and purity in taste. Let's turn to our second batch now, each fig waiting its turn to be transformed, like guests at a grand feast. If you'd like to see more of our daily village life and the simple joys behind our kitchen door, follow us on Instagram. And there it is. The fig jam is ready. I can tell by its colour, that deep, golden hue with a whisper of amber. My wife moves quickly now, taking it off the heat at just the right moment. A second too long and it would get darker. The spreadable jam, too, has finished its journey. And of course, no fig jam would be complete without pairing it with a pie. It's the kind of treat that doesn't shout, but sings softly with each bite. A slice of this pie is like an embrace from the past for me, and let me explain why. In the early days of our marriage, when the world still felt like something we were just beginning to build, my wife used to make this fig pie often, almost too often if you asked her. But the truth is, I adored fig jam so much she made it just to see my face light up. Our little home would fill with the scent of pastry and slow-cooked figs, and I'd always sneak a piece before it cooled. Watching her over the years as she honed her cooking skills with such quiet devotion fills me with a pride I can't quite put into words. At the kitchen counter, she's always reserved, almost solemn, as though in conversation with the ingredients themselves. While the pie rests and the fig jam jars are neatly lined up, it's time to make some tea, something that's always present in our home. If you are enjoying this little journey with us, from the market stalls to the jam jars, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It's a small click for you, but it means the world to us. And if you think someone else might enjoy a taste of village life, share it along. There's always room at our table. My grandmother used to tell me a tale about an old woman known simply as Nenna Gul. Her fig jam was so golden and clear, the villagers believed she stirred it with sunlight itself. When she passed, the fig trees in her orchard bore no fruit for 3 years. Then one summer, her granddaughter returned, stood under the same tree, and whispered the old prayer her grandmother taught her. That year, the figs came back, sweeter than ever. Some say, when you make fig jam with care, Nenna Gul's spirit leans over your shoulder, guiding your hand. And maybe, just maybe, she's with us now, as my wife ladles the thick golden syrup into warm, waiting jars. Now sealed, the jars will rest in our pantry. They'll wait there until the cold days come, when a spoonful of fig jam brings back the warmth of summer. And there it is, the pie is ready, the crust is perfectly golden, and the scent of warm figs has filled the whole yard. Now it's time to set the tea table. The pie looks beautiful, rustic in all the right ways. The fig jam has bubbled just slightly through the crust, leaving golden edges and soft. And the taste is even better than we hoped. The figs are tender and rich, the pastry light but holding firm. Each bite is like a little reward, a quiet celebration of everything that went into making it. If this video brought you a bit of warmth today, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed. It's a small gesture, but it helps us share these stories and meals with more people who might need a little village calm in their day. Well, friends, that's all for today. The fire's gone low, but the stories linger. Until next time, keep it slow and keep it soulful. True rustic life in the quiet place among magnificent Azerbaijani mountains is what we wanna dive you in. Relax and enjoy watching delicious recipes made by our own hands. Sure, the first step is to do all the preparation. Right wood will create the right fire and smoke that will make the food simply perfect. If you adore watching this video, please like it and subscribe.
Dana, mala dana. Yedik ettik. Ne kivizak batın da kümekeyi.
Time to start working with meat. First, it needs to be cut up. Also, we need to put off all the extra parts. Meanwhile, we need to prepare some water, pure, a bit sweet, and amazingly fresh. This is a privilege of living among the mountain streams. Washing the meat in salty water kills the dangerous bacteria. It's about the safety, but it also reduces the strong, fresh meat smell that no one likes. While we were rolling the meat into foil for it to keep all the juice, the oven was ready. This beautiful landscapes and sunny weather are a perfect occasion for drinking some tea. We prepare traditional samovar that helps water to stay warm for a long time. With a wood, we made a construction for our future KFC-style leg. Can you guess how it works? Write in the comments and then check if you were right. One of the best season's gifts are fresh, juicy berries. Sweet aroma is mixing with a smell of herbs and creating real summer mood. This is nothing better than cup of berries tea and some sweets. This is not weird to drink hot tea at summer in Azerbaijan. Other way, it's a big life hack. Hot tea aligns body temperature and you feel better for longer time than when you drink iced tea. And now it's time to look if fire did its job. Fire is an amazing thing. It can hurt you if you're not careful, but it can help you to cook and to warm up if you can do everything right. Just look at this appetizing meat, but sure, that's not all. We all know KFC by the crisp and spices, and that is what we need to do now. Crusty breading starts with starch or flour. What is more appropriate to you? And this is how the construction works. Check out if you guessed it right. Meanwhile, we spray the leg with water. And now we repeat it with a few coats of starch and water. And the last coat is breadcrumbs. It will add the crustiness and keep all the juice. Rustic life is about adore every minute and romanticize your life. Duties with no gadgets and respecting traditions. This is what living in harmony with nature means in modern life. The hardest part is coming. We need to pour the meat with hot oil. The leg is that big that we had no kitchenware to put it inside. Want to watch more content about rural life in Azerbaijan? Join us on Instagram for short reels. Like in real life, if you want a good result, you need to be patient and keep working. It's a long process to pour the meat with oil, but we can see the perfect golden crust in the end. Cooking need your knowledge and some good kitchenware. You can support our channel by taking a look on our shop. We will try our best to please you with the perfect things and deliver it into your country. And this is it, soft and juicy meat covered with the crispiest breading. It tastes surprisingly good even without chicken. Even our pets think that is very delicious. Look like happy they are. Today, we're making something close to the heart, crispy lamb and potato pie, a golden, flaky dish from Lesgi cuisine. This isn't just food, it's memory, it's connection, and it's love baked into every layer. We wash the lamb like it's tradition, gentle, no rush. Now comes the slicing. Each piece, cut with purpose, will soak up the flavors of fire and memory. This pie isn't just a meal, it's a legacy. In Lesgi homes, it's made for big gatherings when the whole family comes together. The crispy crust, the tender lamb, every part tells a story of mountain life, of warmth, of people who cook with heart, not haste. If you love stories like this and dishes full of heart, don't forget to subscribe and join our village kitchen family. There's so much more to taste and share. Now the dough, salt and water added. Simple, but it holds everything together. This dough will wrap all the flavors together, just like family wraps each other in warmth. Time to prepare the firewood. No gas, no shortcuts, just real flames the way it's always been done in the village. And here it is in our flame, steady, alive, and ready to cook something special. This fire has fed generations. Just look at this breathtaking nature, the perfect backdrop for a meal made with soul. Now we divide the dough in two. One for the base, one to cover the story inside. Simple steps, but they carry generations of knowing hands. We flatten the dough gently, not just shaping it, but setting the stage for something timeless. Meanwhile, the honey has melted, warm, golden, rich. We pour it over the dough, adding a touch of sweetness to the soul of the pie. Now we roll the dough into a tight ball, sealing in the warmth, ready for the next step of this humble masterpiece. We do the same with the next piece of dough, same care, same rhythm. In this kitchen, every step has its place. Meanwhile, we chop the meat, rustic, no machines, just a sharp knife and steady hands. In the past, this was a shared task, done in circles, stories flowing as fast as the blades. It's more than prep. It's tradition. We peel and slice the onions. Eyes may sting, but the smell brings comfort. In village kitchens, this aroma means something good is coming. Simple, honest work that starts every real meal. Next, we do the same with the potatoes, peeled and cut with care. Potatoes have always been a humble staple here, grounding every dish with their quiet strength. We add salt and spices, then mix it all together. Simple flavors that bring the ingredients to life. And of course, a touch of sweet melted honey. We lay the dough into the oiled pan, smooth and ready. Then comes the filling, spread with care, promising rich flavors in every bite. Then we simply cover it with the other piece of dough, sealing in all the goodness inside. If you enjoy these stories and flavors from our village kitchen, please subscribe and become part of our family. There's so much more warmth and tradition waiting for you. Our dough is now cooking over the fire, slowly turning golden, soaking in the warmth and smoke of the village hearth. Now we chop fresh parsley and onions, simple greens that will add brightness and depth to our dish. And of course, cucumbers, crisp and fresh, the perfect cool contrast to the rich pie. All right, let's check on our pie, the moment we've all been waiting for. We finish slicing the cucumber and add yogurt to make a traditional refreshing drink. This cool, tangy beverage has been enjoyed in these villages for generations, perfect to balance the richness of the meal and keep everyone refreshed. Just listen to that crunch, the sound of tradition, fresh and inviting, promising a bite full of flavor and history. The moment has arrived. Time to taste this pie. Every bite carries the flavors of tradition, family, and the mountains where it all began. Eating out here in nature, it's a simple joy, one that makes every flavor richer and every moment more memorable. Now we water our little garden, nurturing the plants that will someday inspire new dishes and stories, just like this one. Oh, it's time to prepare fragrant tea, made possible thanks to the Samovar, filling the air with warmth and inviting everyone to gather. Clearing the soil of small stones. Careful work that helps the trees grow strong, just like patience grows our family bonds. Meanwhile, we gather the fresh leaves we picked. It's time for fragrant moments. This tradition of brewing herbs has soothed village families for generations, a quiet ritual of comfort and connection. And our tea is ready, warm, fragrant, and full of the stories we've shared today. Let's not forget to fertilize the trees. Caring for them today means a richer harvest tomorrow. And now it's time for tea, paired with delicious buns fresh from the oven. Moments like these remind us that the simplest gatherings are often the sweetest. If you've enjoyed this journey into our village kitchen, don't forget to subscribe. More stories and flavors are waiting for you. The season of green cherry plum harvest is in full swing, and it's a glorious sight to behold. We've arrived at our favourite spot, where rows of lush green trees stretch across the landscape, their branches heavy with fruit.
Şebet ağacından kutura. Vedriye got içine.
Back in childhood, we'd gather in cheerful little gangs, setting off at first light to raid the trees with the kind of joy only children know. One of us would clamber up into the branches and shake the tree with all their might, while the rest held out a great cloth beneath, trying to catch the shower of plums. Just one bite today, and I'm sent tumbling back through time to those carefree days, holding a tin plate piled high with sharp green plums, little mound of salt on the side. I'd dip each one in salt, and the flavour would hit like a lightning bolt, electrifying every nerve, every taste bud. Most of the cherry plums ended up in the skilled hands of our mothers. They'd transform them into rich, tangy sauces and gleaming jams, carefully preserved for cold winter evenings, or slathered over roasted fish, fresh from the fire. I hope you'll enjoy today's episode because this, the traditional art of turning green cherry plums into preserves, is a cherished ritual in Azerbaijan, one that's passed down from kitchen to kitchen, heart to heart. If your soul is already stirred by what you're seeing, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. There's more goodness where this came from. The baskets are brimming, and we're heading home with full hands and full hearts. It'll be a long day ahead, one wholly devoted to preserving the season's gifts with care and joy.
Sieving kamar vardı. Sieving yapar.
We've also got some new little companions today. Just look at this sweet face, a bundle of fur and curiosity. Even I, like a grown man, can't help myself. That level of cuteness, it's a challenge not to scoop them up and hold them tight.
Hadi arkadaşlar. Yemeğe santim var, yaparız. Bir diskiniyet yaparız. Hem dişi erkek.
Şey ama.
Hem ayrıca jur zakje, en zakje.
In Azerbaijan, cherry plum jam is more than a treat. It's a tradition. A taste of summer preserved in a jar. It carries the brightness of the season into the darker days. You can continue here by describing its use for tea, desserts, or pairing with savory dishes.
Bu sergiye lazım gördü ya. Zaten efendim sergiye kagana.
In our village, the cherry plum trees are usually surrounded by families, each claiming a tree and picking with laughter and chatter. Today, though, we came early, before the crowd, to soak in the quiet and pick in peace. And here we go, someone's decided to take a bath in a basin full of cherry plums, no less. It's a puppy raid. Oh lad, you won't enjoy the taste. Far too tart for your palate. Meanwhile, time to roll up my sleeves and get to work. Look what I've got. Fresh garlic, pulled straight from the soil, still kissed by the earth.
Ne hoş kal kaçsın bana. Kide şimdi Allah'a var.
Half of it will be hung to dry, letting the bulbs mature and sweeten in the air.
Тихо, потихо, потихо, потихо. indi tar tomia, indi tar san. Zayla yüküle de sıcakı lazım bir yerde.
The rest? That's destined for pickling, sharp, aromatic, unforgettable. While the sauce simmers and the jars cool, there's a quiet moment of joy, sharing food with those who share the land. A gentle offering to the horse, a rustle of breath, and thanks in return. No need for many words here, just a simple exchange between man and nature. Now let's talk about pickled cherry plums. Perhaps the most underrated treasure of the whole harvest. Sweet jams might take the spotlight, but these little green plums, when preserved in brine, become bold, bright, and unforgettable. Their tartness softens over time, and what's left is a punchy, mouth-watering flavour that elevates any dish they accompany. In Azerbaijan, pickled cherry plums are a regular part of everyday meals, not just an occasional treat. During big family gatherings, you'll always find a small plate of them on the table, nestled between meat dishes, rice, and fresh herbs. Their tang cuts through the richness of pilaf or lamb, cleansing the palate and sharpening the appetite for the next bite. But they aren't only reserved for feasts. On quiet afternoons, they're eaten just as they are, straight from the jar with a piece of bread and some white cheese on the side. Add a glass of strong black tea and you've got a simple, satisfying meal that somehow tastes like home. Before we dive into the pie, maybe take a moment to visit our little shop. The knives you've seen us use, the soft woolen socks my wife knits in the evenings. Each one carries a piece of this place and the hands that shaped it. Scan the code or follow the link and take a part of our village with you. Something simple, useful, and made with care.
Good.
Now, we're ready to turn our cherry plums into jam, the kind that tastes like sunlight caught in a spoon. Sweet, slightly tart, and full of summer's brightness. But before the cooking begins, there's a bit of prep work to do. We start by peeling the plums. It's a little fiddly, yes, but it makes all the difference. The skins can become tough when cooked, so removing them ensures a smoother, more luxurious texture in the final jam. Before peeling, though, they get a proper wash. She adds a spoonful of flour to the water, an old kitchen trick that works wonders. It helps to remove any dirt or wax from the surface of the fruit without damaging the delicate skin. The plums tumble through the water, clouded slightly by flour, and come out clean, soft, and ready to be transformed. No need for harsh scrubbing, just a gentle rinse and they're good to go. It's one of those little steps that doesn't look like much, but makes everything better. Next, it's time to make the syrup. In a clean pot, she mixes sugar and water, setting it over a low flame. As the sugar dissolves, the mixture starts to thicken into a clear, silky syrup, the base that will hold all the flavour of the plums. The trick is not to rush. Too much heat and the sugar will darken, too little and it won't reduce. But just right, and you've got a golden syrup that's glossy and smooth, perfect for soaking into the fruit without overwhelming it. While the jam bubbles away gently, we turn our attention to dessert. A good old-fashioned cherry plum pie. No measuring, no fancy gadgets, just hands, flour, and the memory of how it's always been done. And while the dough rests, he sets up the samovar outside. It's a familiar sound and sight. The clink of kindling, the soft strike of a match, the low hiss of water beginning to heat. Soon the tea will be ready, just in time to enjoy with the finished pie and jam. There's something about tea from a samovar. It's stronger, richer, more grounded. Poured into small glasses, it warms your palms and your chest at the same time. With everything we've made today, this tea will taste especially rewarding. If this brought you a sense of comfort or joy, consider liking the video or following along on Instagram for more village recipes and quiet days like this one. And just like that, the jam is ready. It's thick, gleaming, and full of character. You can tell just by the way it clings to the spoon. Not too runny, not too stiff, just perfect.
A pierogi na gulasz.
Now we gently place the pie onto low heat. We're not using an oven here, just a heavy-bottomed pot with a tight-fitting lid. This way of cooking is slower, but it gives the crust time to develop that lovely golden colour from the bottom up. With the jam finished, we pour it into sterilized jars carefully, ladle by ladle. The kitchen smells sweet and tangy, and everything feels quiet and focused, like we've stepped out of time for a little while. These jars will be lined up in the pantry, ready for winter mornings and unexpected guests. She saves a bit of jam for now. Still warm, fresh from the pot, it goes into a little bowl, set aside for our tea break. After all that work, it's only right to enjoy a taste while the rest cools down. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know, and lets us keep sharing these everyday moments with you.
Besyan,
Besin.
baksı.
Küçüğe jal yeşil.
Baksı. Yani.
And here comes the pie, finely cooked, and just look at it. The crust is golden and slightly crisp on the edges, soft in the middle, with the filling bubbling gently beneath the surface. We've been waiting for this all day, and it doesn't disappoint.
Ona pirokatı. Deki şampanya eziyetlik suna pirokar fikanota.
Çırçın araya rakot.
Şuna da onu şanıyor güzel alacağız canım. İmlicu. Zaman biri beklemek kaderim. Tarifim bile yapamıyorum.
Çan fosfora dökmüştü.
We cut a generous slice. The pastry crumbles just enough and the filling is sweet, tart, and full of that fresh cherry plum flavour. A bit of jam on the side, a sip of tea. It's not fancy, but it's everything we could ask for. It's been a joyful day, filled with sunshine, good work, and the kind of food that brings people together. These are the little things that stay with you. Thank you for joining us. If this reminded you of home or made you smile, we're glad. Until next time, take care, eat well, and enjoy the simple things. The mulberry trees are waking up, their branches bursting with spring's first whispers. It's that fleeting, magical season when the air smells like stories waiting to be told. So, pull up a chair, tuck in close, something delightful is just beginning to simmer. So, I climbed the tree myself, carefully, barefoot, with the bark warm under my feet and the branches swaying ever so slightly in the breeze, while the others down below unfolded a large time-worn cloth, spreading it out like a sail to catch the falling mulberries before they touched the earth. It's a method that's as old as the trees themselves, passed down through generations like a well-kept secret. Of course, this approach only works if we move in harmony. I have to guide them and tell them when to adjust the cloth, when to hold steady, when to shift just a little to the right or left, because one wrong move and the juiciest berries will slip through the cracks, lost forever in the tall grass.
sürecek. İyi sağ batar.
Ja,
Aktualizing the goat in your
ja. Zo, laat zien het.
There's a rhythm to it all, a kind of dance, and I find myself playing the part of conductor in this curious countryside orchestra. We're in the very heart of the ripening season now. Those few golden days when the mulberries are so perfectly ripe, they fall with barely a touch. Still we managed. The branches are bare now, not a single mulberry left behind. The tree has given us everything it had, and thanks to this brilliant team effort, this joyful little harvest mission, we've gathered it all. A sweet delight, glistening like tiny pearls of sunlight. Each mulberry carries the fragrance of spring and the memory of the tree that bore it. Their tenderness promises jam that will sing on the tongue and soothe the soul. So let's head off home, baskets in hand, and make what might just be the sweetest, most delicious jam ever cooked under an Azerbaijani sky. A jam so good it could charm even the sternest of grandmothers. The village is always brimming with life. Just beyond the fence, a shepherd tends his flock, guiding them with a quiet grace. In the next yard, someone is hunched low, picking ripe vegetables with the morning sun warming their back. In the village, one not only finds peace and stillness, but also an honest kind of labor. In Azerbaijan, mulberry jam is not simply a preserve, it's a tradition. Some enjoy it at breakfast, spread thick over hot toast with a pat of golden, homemade butter. Others turn to it as a remedy for sore throats and weary days. As for us, we see no need to choose. When something is naturally sweet, it becomes more than food. And unlike black mulberries, the white ones won't stain your hands purple or ruin your newly washed apron. So today, we're free to handle them boldly. No fuss, no worry. We can mess around as much as we like and still leave the kitchen looking respectable. While my wife, with her gentle hands, begins sorting through the mulberries, removing stray stems and the odd leaf, I turn my attention to the heavier tasks. There's always some lifting to be done, and someone's got to do it. Today, that someone is me. The sky is beginning to grumble now. In the distance, we hear the first rumble of thunder, like a drum roll before the cooking begins in earnest. Let's place the pot onto the fire. It's a heavy copper-bottomed thing, well used and well loved. We'll let the flames coax the sugars out slowly, one bubbling moment at a time. And while we wait, do follow our Instagram account for more glimpses into Azerbaijani village life and traditional cooking. Scan the QR code. You'll be virtually sitting with us, sipping fragrant tea and savoring these stories, one spoonful at a time. And if you've enjoyed the journey so far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep these traditions alive, and your comments always warm our hearts. Now what we're going to do next is sieve the mulberry jam. You might be wondering, why go through all that effort? Well, here's the thing. Sieving removes the seeds and coarse fibers, giving the jam a smooth, elegant texture. It also separates the pure juice, which we'll need if we're making syrup later on. We're not rushing this. It's a labor of love, and the result will be worth every gentle press and patient wait.
ما ناشئ نایمی یا زی سیب ناین نه یا
Kemer görüyorsun.
ما با هی
Bazı. Hele bir kasa sana.
روشت
The mulberries are now wrapped tightly in a clean cloth, a traditional muslin we keep just for this purpose. We hang the cloth so that the juices can drip slowly.
Zazgili, lise yeke kap tayin içine Pecmes ye.
And speaking of which, jam isn't the only treasure on the menu today. We're making syrup too, fragrant and rich, perfect for drizzling over pancakes, stirring into tea, or simply savoring by the spoonful. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It's the little things that keep our channel blooming like sunlight for our stories. Now there's an old tale about the mulberry tree, a story whispered in courtyards across the lands. It is said that once, long ago, two lovers were separated by fate, and in their final embrace beneath a white mulberry tree, their sorrow turned the berries red. Since then, the tree has been a symbol of longing, of sweetness tinged with loss, and perhaps that's why its fruit tastes so tender. Even now, I think of that story. I wonder how many hands have reached for these branches over the centuries, how many secrets the leaves have overheard. The tree is not just a tree, it is a keeper of time, a witness to laughter and love, and yes, to sorrow too. That's why I believe every batch of jam carries more than just flavor, it carries memory. That's also why preserving jam is such a beautiful act. It isn't just about saving fruit, it's about bottling a moment in time. Come winter, when the skies are grey and the fields are bare, we'll open a jar and taste spring again. We'll remember the mulberry hunt, the thunder in the hills, the soft clatter of the village. That's the real gift. The second pot has now finished boiling, and it's ready to be sieved just like the first. We hang the cloth not only to extract juice, but to do it gently without force, without haste. This slow dripping preserves the clarity of the syrup and keeps the flavors clean and balanced. When we were children, both my wife and I were often sent out by our mothers to fetch mulberries. It wasn't just a task, it was an entire adventure. We'd roam through the village paths, eyes scanning the treetops, hoping to find a tree heavier with fruit than those discovered by our friends. What a thrill it was, that feeling of triumph when you found your own tree, your secret treasure, its branches weighed down with sweetness, untouched by anyone else. That satisfaction still lingers, even now, in the way we pick, in the way we stir. The syrup we are making is called in Azerbaijani Pecmes, a thick, dark nectar made by gently boiling down mulberry juice until it becomes rich and concentrated.
Kızım kalkacağız mı? Şeçine sıcağına çek içine.
But Pecmes is more than just a syrup. In our culture, it has long been cherished as a natural tonic. Our grandmothers treated it like a liquid treasure, something you didn't just eat, but believed in. I still recall how my mother every spring would insist we start the day with a spoonful on an empty stomach. It strengthens the blood, she would say, as she handed it to us like a sacred dose of care.
Bobby! Sakin çek.
While I'm here stirring the pot, my wife is nearby, knitting the most beautiful village socks, each thread infused with the same spirit that runs through our mulberry syrup: warmth, patience, and tradition. These aren't just socks, they're stitched stories, woven memories. Scan the QR code to get yourself a pair and carry a piece of our village with you wherever you go. Just look at this color, so dark it's nearly black, yet when the light brushes its surface, you catch glimmers of ruby, hints of amber. My little DIY project is finally taking shape, and just look at it now. You can already see where it's going, and I must say, it's coming together better than I imagined. The word Pecmes itself comes from our Turkic roots, pek, meaning strong or pure, and mes, an echo of an ancient word for juice. Together, Pecmes means the purest essence of the fruit. In every spoonful there's strength, sweetness, and the quiet wisdom of those who stirred the pot long before us. The samovar, once the heart of every gathering, is almost forgotten these days. But as tea time approaches, something stirs in the memory. The quiet hiss, the warm glow. It's as if the samovar knows it's nearly its moment to shine again. Just look at this log, a beautiful spot touched by nature's quiet design and my hard work. Let's pour the Pecmes into jars now, slowly, carefully. A great immune booster for winter times. We've got a bowl of jam set aside for today's tea, fresh, warm, and ready to be savoured. As for the rest, it's time to pour it into jars, sealing in the season for the days to come. Just one fruit and look how much it's given us. Jam for our tea, Pecmes to strengthen us, memories to carry forward, and yes, we even dried some to brew mulberry tea on colder days. From a single tree, a whole world unfolds. I think it would be a lovely idea to whip up a simple flower porridge and swirl in a generous spoonful of mulberry jam. Just imagine that sweetness melting into the porridge. It's the kind of humble meal that fills more than just your stomach. It fills your spirit too. This yun seo, our humble flour porridge, is a beloved breakfast in the rural hills of Azerbaijan. A single plate of it sets you right for the day, filling you with the kind of strength that lets you trot up bumpy hills with the ease of a mountain goat.
Yemek hazır. Sen çayını koy.
Yemek de alırsa çay koy. Şimdi anders anfangen.
Just look at this table. A bowl of flour porridge, humble and warm, now crowned with a ribbon of mulberry syrup. Sweet meat simple, and together they become something deeply satisfying, nourishment for both body and spirit.
Sağ ol. Hazır mı ne ya?
Kahvaltı Pecmes koyacağım.
5 yazı var, 5 yazı.
A bowl of porridge with a drizzle of Pecmes can make you feel 10 times stronger, like you could split firewood with a glance or outrun the village rooster before sunrise. This, right here, is the secret that's kept us strong and healthy for generations. No pills, no potions, just flour, fire, and a spoonful of Pecmes passed down from our grandmothers with a knowing smile. Such a wholesome and nurturing experience we've shared here today. Truly incredible. Thank you for spending this time with us in our village. Come back soon. There's always a place for you at our table.